Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We will be talking today about technology that it's been around for a long time. Just very many people haven't been able to use it, and it's a very nice technology. It helps. It's very beneficial to a whole lot of people, a whole lot of people, especially those who live in houses. It helps cut your electricity bill by good chunk of amount of sum. It helps also illuminate very dark areas in the house around the morning, afternoon period when the sun is up and you don't really want to turn on your lights in the house. This technology is called solar tube. Now, that is the bulbs that I have in the house, and this is the solar tube that I have in the house. Now, most people might have known another form of technology called the skylight. A solar tube is just a miniature form of a skylight. Only difference is the solar tube is pretty much like tubular, and it comes out like this, while a skylight is going to be more of like a broad rectangular stuff, and it's pretty much the whole house or the whole living room, depending on where you put it. This technology was developed sometime around the 1980s by two Australians, and later on, sometime around the early 1990s, 2000, that was brought up to the United States, patent in the United States, and they've had different designs of it come up that is very, very, very lucrative, and it helps a lot. Now, the reason I'm interested in this technology is because comparing this with where I originally was born, I was born in Africa. And in Africa, we had issues with electricity. Pretty much, there were times we'll go for days or weeks without electrical lights, which means in the afternoon, the only way to have light coming to your house is using windows. And sometimes you didn't put windows in certain strategic areas in the house because you didn't want some kind of exposure into that section of the house. Let's say your bathroom, let's say certain corridors that you have that goes to the room and all that. Now, I never knew about this form of technology, I'll be very candid with you, until I bought my first house in the United States. So when we were going for the house tour, I discovered that, well, the house was pretty much light. There was light everywhere. My question to the realtor at that point was like, hey, if you guys turn on the lights in the house? He's like, no, there's no lights turned on in the house. Actually, what you have is solar tube. I'm like, well, you're talking about a skylight? They're like, no, a skylight is a little bit different. It's the big one, whereas you just have a direct access to the sun. You can actually see the sun from it, while a solar tube works in a little bit different manner. It collects the light and then channels it into specific places in the house. Now, you could have this, say, two of them in the living room. One of them, maybe like what I have here, I have one just as soon as you get into the house. And that means I actually hardly turn on this light. This always works all the time, except in the evening. And you don't need to turn on your lights most of the times in the afternoon because this will provide all the light you need. If you were to look at how this technology impacts people a little bit, I'm going to put on a video on YouTube that actually gives a little bit information about how this technology also works. Please pardon me when I play this. So solar tube has moved from being something that was just for residential areas to going up to commercial areas. Now, this helps people, let's say you have a big company and most of your work you need to put it in a safe space, and in most cases it means a little bit below ground level, and that happens to be, well, you have to put a whole lot of light to be able to see. You have a bunch of solar tubes that will help cut off on most of the electricity. Your electricity will technically or tactically just be for your equipment which you're using, or except when you're working at night. Now, this technology has done some upgrades, and you have upgrades up to the point where it can now be connected to LEDs. Pretty much, technology has formed up to LED usage. And also, there is the part where you add a small solar panel to it to also provide a little bit of a night light. Pretty much that means when you go into the night, you will now have a little bit more of a smaller, softer kind of light as compared to what you have when it's very sunny outside. There's even been the option where they've added a little bit of a fan ventilation process to it, where you can put one in your attic, your garage, and it will help with ventilating your garage, ventilating your room, ventilating your living room, and other things of that manner. This will be the technology I will be talking about within the next few weeks, or this project. How this might have been, or how this has impacted a little bit technological politics. We will look into it. At the moment, the technological politics, which is pretty much concerning most states in the United States, is solar energy. Now, some states are trying to add this into the solar energy. That way, it will help a little bit. Thank you very much, and I look forward to talking with you and working with you guys for the whole semester. Thank you.